We've got the Century Batteries chopper launched at the moment. That picture is worth 1,000 words. It is sparkling here at the moment, Mark Scope. Standard driver answer, turn 11 and the braking approach now for Anton. Gets it nicely through there. Hits the apex marks right in the middle of the corner. This is a maximum attack and he's got the rear of the car loose into 12. Got away with it just, but he did catch a little bit of time in that process.
Onto the main straight, using all of the right-hand side to try to shorten the run to the control line, and an 11.14. He's basically done the same time. It's only 1/10 away from what he did before. He's probably going to eclipse the number at the moment that Anton's done.
He crept it into turn 12. His car also wanted to get away slightly in the rear. The way they've got the cars set for this shootout is they're very pointy. They're very responsive to that steering wheel, and they're just a tiny bit loose in the rear end. Clearly, beautifully out of that final corner. And Waters gets it to the line with the first 10 that we've seen this afternoon in the shootout. It's a 1 minute 10.98.
He's done the same thing as his teammate Cam Waters. He's put fresh right-hand side Dunlop tyres on. So those new ones are on the right side. He gets it in and stopped nicely for the slowest corner, turn 4. He's able to minimise the inside front wheel locking on the right front, then the left front. And now this is the run, and the drivers are right against the inside there because the control line runs across, and to get to the inside, slightly shorter. So an 11.24 for Thomas Randall. But that's a good job. That's only a couple of tenths away from what he did before. First sector's about to come up. Cam Waters has been the fastest. He's only about a 1.5 away. And when you look at the numbers, and the piece that I was really impressed with previously is a run through here. He's been very fast through here. Got a curb strike.
Oh, no.
He did. Gone.
I was about to say he didn't show a lot of air through there, which is encouraging, but the curb strike effectively clean bowls him. Great start to the lap for David Reynolds. He's off and running.
Oh,
so
have a look at the number. He's 2/10 up from everybody. Brilliant start because he's got fresh new tyres on the rear. So loaded tyres on the front, new tyres on the back, Neil.
And you get a great benefit under traction coming out of that hairpin where you can really lay into that throttle percentage. Reynolds in the braking approach now to the left-hander at turn 11. It skipped a little in the rear, but he's still perfectly on line target. This has been a bit tricky across these bumps here. Several of the cars have got away in the rear. It sticks. Nicely on line with a tiny little wag of the tail on the exit of turn 13. The direction change is challenging. To the right and then back to the left and then loading up that right rear tyre. It's a 9-second load through here and it hammers those tyres.
Pretty damn nice lap there, mate.
It is a pretty damn nice lap, and Alistair McVeigh knows the strength of it. This is probably going to put Waters at the top, but it does. He has nailed a lap to the wall, a 1 minute 10.4. Go, Davey. He's the senior citizen of this group of guys that are out there in our regular field at the moment. He's 42 years of age. He's been a champion in Supercars in 2010. And he has done very well here on the streets of the Gold Coast typically. He'll be a threat this afternoon as he wriggles that thing out of the final corner. Now it's a matter of clean shifting all the way to the line. And what has James got for us? It is a 1 minute 11.47.
I reckon it's one of the most difficult ones just to find the actual point to put your foot on the brake. And then he's locked the right-hand front wheel and it's over and out. Done.
Couldn't have picked it up at a more appropriate moment because that is the great challenge down there. So you've only got to be one car length too deep and you can't stop it. So it was the right front that locked, and it locked violently, and he would have been here as a driver-co-driver combination last time. So 24 years of age, Brodie Kostecki, another of the guys that spends time here on the Gold Coast, and he's got a curb strike right off the bat. So the Gold Coast bites one more time.
He had 4 green tyres to get that started. And now he just should back it off. Don't use the tyres up.
There's a bit of cold tyre chattering through turn 11 in the background when you listen carefully there. So hunting for grip into the final complex now for Mostert. It's come out there pretty cleanly, made the shift nicely. So he's giving away a little bit of margin to Reynolds at the moment, who's been the fastest in all 3 sectors, and Mostert jumps it up into position number 3 on an 11.1. So just fractionally slower than the time he did in quali.
Good job, buddy. Nice built-in lap for it. And stopping for Gales, and then we'll call you back to...
At turn 4. And I don't think he can come back from that sort of deficit. He will give it his all. We know that he put 100% into everything. Beautiful apex there. That's the closest to the fence of anybody in the top 10 shootout so far at turn 11. Middle sector is exactly the same as Reynolds. He's only 0.02 away in the middle.
Into the final complex. 4 times he's been a winner here. 5 times he's had a pole on the Gold Coast. There's major pressure on David Reynolds at the moment. Andrew Edwards is the engineer for car number 97, staring at the data. The Red Bull group are in the background. Shane clicks it up into top gear and he drops it into second on a 10.8. David Reynolds has the Armour All pole on the Gold Coast.
And by a margin, 0.4 of a second on the field. What a brilliant lap by David Reynolds. Absolutely brilliant.
His 15th career pole and the first one since the Grand Prix in Melbourne last year for David Reynolds. Congratulations, and that's a nice breakthrough. They've been searching for performance in that garage in the recent past, and that car was scattered all over their workshop floor like a Meccano set for the last 14 days. To put it back together and to get it to the top of the group is a fine, fine achievement by the men and women at Grove Racing.
Absolutely ecstatic, everybody down there. Alistair McVeigh, he'll be off his head. That's the biggest margin he's ever had for a pole position as an engineer.
0.4 of a second, in fact. Reynolds over Van Gisbergen, and then Waters, Mostert. What a lineup. De Pasquale, Randall, Courtney, Heimgartner, Kostecki and Davison. So the heavyweights are all in place to set up what's going to be a great battle for us.